Did you know? Diablo 1 has quote-unquote an official way to beat the game and Lord of Terror, pieced together from lore excerpts and even infamous retcons which told us much about the canonical path the hero once tread. So, pause spamming spells in your ultra-modded playthrough, as in today's video, we will be exploring the one true path that Blizzard intended the player to follow, and the reasoning behind some of those now iconic choices that shaped the entire franchise's story thanks to Diablo 1. It should be noted, this video is not a walkthrough of the game, but rather broad, important choices that shape the narrative as a whole. Having said that, the full story of the game and cut content can be found on the channel and will be linked at the end of this video. First off, character creation is fairly straightforward, as assuming you've played Diablo 2, we know of the group of heroes and their fates of Diablo 1, a party consisting of a warrior, sorcerer, and rogue, but it is canonically the warrior who triumphs in the end. But we're getting ahead of ourselves, and so we select the warrior, though now have a massive hurdle to overcome. In Diablo 1, the quests are a series of missions in which the character is sent, and offer advantages when completed, though none of them technically need to be completed, except for the Archbishop Lazarus and Diablo quests, which are keys, of course, to finishing the game. Importantly, later lore confirms the set of quests the hero canonically attempted. Another roadblock some people may forget is quests in Diablo 1 are grouped into 6 blocks and randomized, meaning each playthrough is unique and canon quests can, theoretically, be missed. A great example of this is, if the wounded townsman is missing from the entrance to the cathedral, it means you miss out on the butcher quest and get the other 2 quests instead, being Ogden's Sign and Garbad the Weak. So, to remedy this, we shall be artificially creating a perfect playthrough where all canon quests are explored and the others remain optional. Thankfully, the mod which I use, called Beelzebub, makes all quests accessible in a single playthrough and all cut content to boot. With that being said, breaking down the 6 groups, starting with group number 1, as we enter the cathedral, there is only one quest we can pick, and it's clearly the Skeleton King, being the Goliath skeleton of the town's former despot and king, Leoric, who we face again in Diablo 3. Although the game wrote the characters as random adventurers, another reason we must play the warrior is the fact he's later confirmed to be Leoric's son Prince Aidan, and brother of the missing Prince Ulbricht. Though it should also be noted, this was originally a controversial retcon, or metcon as they're famously known, thanks to Chris Metzen rewriting swaths of the lore. Group 2 of quests still has us beneath the cathedral, where 2 of 3 quests will randomize. Perhaps the most famous recurring encounter in the series is where the party faces off against the ghastly butcher and his minions that attack the townsmen thanks to the Archbishop Lazarus's betrayal. Out of the remaining quests, I believe Ogden's Sign is canon over meeting the talking goatman Garbad the Weak, not because of the obsequious innkeeper's sign being stolen, but due to the reward Harlequin's Crest, which is a confirmed recurring item in Diablo 2 and beyond. Group 3 has us again choose 2 out of 3 available quests. The first is the strongest contender, being Arcane's Valor. He was a former hero, and his armor we know much about, being Arcane was an ancient hero who turned the tide of the Sin War and drove the demons back to the burning hells. He was well known for wearing the holy armor known as Valor. Before his death, Arcane stashed Valor in a secret vault. It was said that a hero would arise to don valor once again when it was needed. The wiki also states, during the darkening of Tristram, valor was indeed retrieved by a hero. The remaining 2 quests are the Halls of the Blind, which is one of my favourite encounters, being a chilling discovery of a tome that leads us to face off against disappearing demons, and the Magic Rock. This quest involves locating a heavenly stone. It is initiated by Griswold after visiting level 4, and the stone itself is on a pedestal somewhere in level 5. Taking it to Griswold results in the completion of the quest, and the Empyrean Band, a unique ring, as a prize. Therefore, making it plausible, Griswold had uniquely tasked the hero to find said rock, but honestly, it could go either way. Next up is Group 4, again with 2 out of 3 quests to choose from. First, and perhaps most obvious, is the Anvil of Fury. This quest involves locating a powerful artifact of the same name, and is initiated by Griswold anytime after entering the cave section of the labyrinth. The anvil itself is located on a peninsula on dungeon level 10 and is well guarded. Once it is found, the hero must return it to Griswold to complete the quest, and as a reward, Griswold will forge his namesake sword, Griswold's Edge, being one of the most powerful artifacts you can obtain, especially for the warrior. A lot of players used this sword to slay the Lord of Terror himself. However, I cannot confirm this is why the quest was canon, as oddly, the flavor text in Diablo 3 about the returning unique axe, Messerschmitt's Reaver, reads, "This mighty weapon once hewed its way through the demon-infested catacombs beneath the old Zakharum Cathedral in Tristram. Could it be the weapon that the warrior Aiden used to defeat Diablo all those years ago? It's instead Diablo 2 that verifies Griswold created this very sword, as it returned as a broadsword. The remaining 2 quests seem to be up to the player, being Zar, the Mad Wizard, encountered in level 8 of the Catacombs, or the hunt for a black mushroom for Adria, which results in a special elixir with a hefty reward boosting each of the 4 primary stats by 3. 5 is the second last batch of the quests, and only allows the player to choose one from the 2 of the quests available. The first is Warlord of Blood, referencing the Steel Lord who guards the entrance to level 14 with his minions. However, taking precedence is the alternate Lakdanan quest that takes place on level 14 of the dungeon as well, and begins when the player speaks to the unique Blood Knight of the same name. Lakdanan and his killing of the former king, Leoric, is integral to the storyline, and he canonically makes a reappearance in Diablo 3, making him the canon version of the quest. This then fittingly takes us to Group 6, bringing us down to the outskirts of Hell, where the final 3 quests canonically all appear, being the Chamber of Bone, facing off against the betrayer Lazarus in search of Prince Ulbricht, only to find his dark master waiting in the bowels of the cathedral in his hellish lair, and the shocking discovery the boy had succumbed to the Lord of Terror's treachery long ago. It's then, after the Lord of Terror is felled, we learn the final fate of the warrior is revealed. Notification to stay up to date with the posts, and many thanks for making this series an absolute joy to play. As always, thanks for watching, and until next time, Wanderer.
The Soul Stone burns with hellfire as an eerie red glow blurs your vision. Fresh blood flows into your eyes, and you begin to hear the tormented whispers of the damned. You have done what you knew must be done. The essence of Diablo is contained. For now. You pray that you have become strong enough to contain the demon and keep him at bay. Although you have been fortified by your quest, you can still feel him, clawing his way up from the dark recesses of your soul. Fighting to retain control, your thoughts turn toward the ancient mystic lands of the Far East. Perhaps there, beyond the desolate wastes of Aranok, you will find an answer. Or perhaps, salvation.